there, very good morning and welcome to the Breakfast News. I'm Tracy Shilshi and in the next 30 minutes I'll be getting you the day's top stories, what to expect in the day ahead. Let's start with the headlines. Centre calls a meeting of environment ministers of Delhi and neighbouring states over rising pollution levels. Delhi Chief Minister announces a slew of steps including closing of schools, cloud seeding option also being discussed. 2 army jawans are killed and 5 injured in unprovoked firing by Pakistani troops along the line of control. Reports of severe damage to Pakistani posts reported in retaliatory fire. British Prime Minister is visiting India and Prime Minister Modi will be holding talks with Theresa May. Agreements in the field of trade, investment, defence and security is expected. Protests continue in Delhi over JNU student Najib Ahmed, who has been missing for 23 days. Chief Minister meets President, gets an assurance that a Home Ministry report will be sought. And just ahead of the US election day, relief for Hillary Clinton. FBI says no wrongdoing found in her use of private email server. Starting with the national capital, where the centre has called a meeting of environment ministers of Delhi and its neighbouring states in the wake of high level of pollution in the national capital. Union Minister Anil Madhav Dave will speak to his state counterparts to put an end to crop burning as pollution levels in Delhi have risen to alarming levels. The Delhi government has blamed the practice of crop burning in Haryana and Punjab for pollution in the national capital as air quality dipped to its worst in over 17 years. Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal has come under flak from all quarters over the worsening situation. He announced a slew of measures on Sunday following an emergency cabinet meeting.
Delhi government announcing short-term steps to deal with an unprecedented situation in the national capital.
अगले 5 दिन के अंदर दिल्ली में हर किस्म की कंस्ट्रक्शन और डिमोलिशन बंद की जा रही है। दूसरा, दिल्ली की सड़कों पे कल से पानी का छिड़काव बड़े स्तर पे किया जाएगा ताकि मिट्टी सेटल हो सके। तीसरा, डीजी सेट्स दिल्ली में जो हैं उनको 10 दिन के लिए बंद किया जा रहा है, लेकिन कुछ डीजी सेट्स एसेंशियल यूटिलिटीज के लिए इस्तेमाल होते हैं, कुछ अस्पतालों में, मोबाइल टावर्स पे, वो इससे बाहर होंगे।
Schools have been ordered to shut till Wednesday. Power plants have been asked to temporarily shut down. The Chief Minister has also said that he is discussing with the centre the possibility of cloud seeding to bring in artificial rain in the city. Delhi has been blaming Punjab and Haryana over stubble burning that has turned the capital into a gas chamber.
भय का वातावरण पैदा न हो, विश्वास का वातावरण पैदा होना चाहिए। सबने मिलकर के सामान्य समाज को ये विश्वास दिलाना चाहिए कि समस्या कठिन है, समस्या बड़ी है, लेकिन हम सब मिलकर के उस दिशा में आगे बढ़ रहे हैं और हम उसको ठीक करेंगे।
The centre also citing ISRO images to show that the role of neighbouring states to Delhi's pollution is only 20% and blaming them will not work. The AAP government is also exploring the possibility of bringing back the odd-even formula for vehicles.
All these slew of measures which Kejriwal has announced, these are nothing but knee-jerk short-term gains just to ward off the present situation, present criticism. His mind, his everything, soul, everything is out of Delhi. Kejriwal is just for namesake Chief Minister of Delhi. Otherwise, he is just furthering his own political ambitions and working on that.
The Met Department has forecast little improvement in the weather condition for the next 3 days. Cases of respiratory problems have risen in the city with people rushing to medical stores to buy air masks.
मास्क पहन के लोग अपना पोल्यूशन को रुकवा रहे हैं और देखिए मास्क 2000 रुपए का, लोगों को अपना हेल्थ की इशू नहीं होगी इससे। और ये जो यूपी और पंजाब में धान वो जो वेस्ट है वो जलाया गया है, उससे बहुत बड़ा फर्क पड़ा है। और दिवाली तो थी साथ में।
जिन लोगों को लंग्स की प्रॉब्लम ऑलरेडी है, चाहे वो एस्मा है, ब्रोंकाइटिस है, कुछ भी है, तो वो अपना ट्रीटमेंट पूरा लें। अर्ली मॉर्निंग, लेट इवनिंग घर से बाहर ना निकलें तो बेटर है। अगर कोई प्रॉब्लम होती है तो अपने डॉक्टर के पास जाके जल्दी इलाज लें। इस साल बहुत लोग ऐसे आए हैं जिनको कभी एस्मा नहीं रहा था और उनको सीवियर एस्मा अटैक पहली बार ही हो रहे हैं।
Residents also organized protest marches to fight for their right to breathe. Lieutenant Governor Najib Jung has called for a high-level meeting today over the matter. Delhi has witnessed the worst air quality in 17 years this season. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Representatives from almost 200 nations are assembling in Marrakesh in Morocco today for talks on implementing the 2015 Paris Agreement on climate change. Well, the Paris Agreement, designed to start in 2020, entered into force on Friday, a month after reaching key ratification thresholds. On Sunday, the United Nations said 100 parties, 99 countries and the European Union had formally joined the accord. The immediate challenge for negotiators is that by law, countries that have ratified the deal must start agreeing the rules to implement it at the next UN climate conference. And that conference starts today. That has left officials a very short time, of course, to iron out the host of technical issues, and only about half the parties that crafted the Paris deal eligible to participate in the early decision-making. Last week, the United Nations reported greenhouse gas emissions in 2030 will exceed by 12 billion to 14 billion tons, what is needed to keep global warming to the agreed target.
اتفاقية باريس كانت اتفاقية تاريخية تم المصادقة عليها في أقل من سنة، وهذا نادر جدا في مسار المفاوضات والاتفاقات الدولية، والمغرب يطمح الآن إلى تفعيل هذه الاتفاقية وخصوصا.
Now to Kashmir, where 2 army jawans have been killed and 5 others, including a woman, injured in Pakistani firing along the line of control in Poonch. Pakistani forces resorted to unprovoked shelling and firing, targeting posts and civilian areas in Krishna Ghati and Sabzian sectors. Heavy exchange of firing continued through the day on Sunday, and at some places it's still on. The army also said that 2 major infiltration bids by militants in the Krishna Ghati sector had been foiled.
Past midnight, an infiltration bid was foiled, where one of our soldiers who was injured, and as he was being evacuated, he succumbed to his injuries. Then early hours in the morning, the second infiltration bid was foiled in the Krishna Ghati sector, and which was successfully retaliated and foiled by us. And thereafter, there has been ceasefire violation, which is continuing since 10:15 in the morning in Poonch sector, as also in Krishna Ghati sector.
सुबह से पाकिस्तान की तरफ से तकरीबन 7 साढ़े 7 के टाइम में फायरिंग शुरू हुई है, और इसमें काफ़ी फायरिंग हुई है, जिसमें एक तो लेडीज़ ज़ख्मी हुई है तो हमारे इंडिया की, तो एक अपना सैनिक जवान को भी सुना हमने कि वो शहीद हो गए। तो यहाँ बहुत दुश्वारी आ रही है अभी फायरिंग में। हमारा ये फसल का टाइम चल रहा है अभी, घास मकई का, तो इसमें कई आदमी जो है बाहर ही रहते हैं, तो इसमें काफ़ी खतरा बना हुआ है।
British Prime Minister Theresa May arrived in India on Sunday night for a 3-day visit. May's visit, which is her first bilateral engagement outside Europe since taking office, is aimed at enhancing Indo-UK ties in the key areas such as trade, investment, defence and security. During her talks with Indian leaders, discussion on a possible free trade deal between the countries is expected to be raised as Britain prepares to leave the EU. On her first day of her visit today, May will hold talks with Prime Minister Narendra Modi and will also jointly inaugurate the India-UK Tech Summit. May is being accompanied by 40 business delegates from UK companies, which will showcase itself at the Tech Summit in Delhi. She will also travel to Bengaluru on Tuesday, where she will be attending some business events and will meet the Karnataka Chief Minister.
Enrolling in UK universities has gone down by almost 50%, from around 40,000 to around 20,000 now. This has happened because of restrictions on post-study stay in the UK. Indian students and people-to-people relations are important pillars of India-UK ties. We have raised our concerns on the difficulties being faced by Indian students with the UK side, and we expect mobility issues to be raised during this visit.
Meanwhile, in the wake of fresh attacks on Hindus in Bangladesh, External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj has directed the Indian High Commissioner in Dhaka to convey to Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina India's grave concern over safety and security of the community in that country. On Sunday, Sushma Swaraj tweeted, and I quote, "I have asked the Indian High Commissioner in Dhaka to call on the Prime Minister and express our grave concern about the safety and well-being of Hindus in Bangladesh," unquote. Now, the direction comes following attacks on Hindus in the neighbouring country, where unidentified miscreants set ablaze more than 6 houses and damaged 15 temples after a Facebook post deemed offensive to Islam sparked outrage in the country. Bangladeshi police have arrested 53 people so far. Hundreds of protesters have rallied in Dhaka demanding stern action against perpetrators of attacks on Hindus. Several hundred Hindu youths joined by Muslims staged a street protest in central Dhaka's Shahbag Square. Earlier also, India had taken up with Bangladesh the issue of safety and security of the minorities. We'll keep an eye out on developments there, but here's a look at what is slated through the day in the day ahead. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will address the valedictory function of Vigilance Awareness Week in New Delhi today. The Vigilance Awareness Week is being observed by the Central Vigilance Commission to generate public awareness about corruption and sensitize people about its consequences and ways to eliminate it. Health and Family Welfare Minister J.P. Nadda will inaugurate the 7th session of the Conference of Parties to World Health Organization Framework Convention on Tobacco Control in Greater Noida today. More than 1,500 delegates from 180 countries are expected to participate in the conference. The conference will provide an opportunity to the participating countries to share their best practices to control tobacco consumption. A meeting of the Congress Working Committee will be held today in New Delhi to discuss organizational elections amid suggestions that Party Vice President Rahul Gandhi should be elevated as party chief. The meeting has been called a week before the start of the winter session of Parliament, and the party's strategy for this is expected to be chalked out as well. The CWC meeting is also expected to discuss the party's preparations for the upcoming assembly polls in Uttar Pradesh, Punjab, Goa, Uttarakhand and Manipur. Supreme Court will hear a petition today on making yoga compulsory in schools for the students of class 1 to 8. The petition also sought a direction to the government to frame a national yoga policy, saying that the right to health was part of the right to lead a dignified life under Article 21 of the Constitution. Time for a quick break here, but before that, we are leaving you with images of Chhath Puja celebrations. Lakhs of devotees offered prayers to the sun on ghats of Ganga and other rivers and water bodies across Bihar on the occasion of Chhath. The state government made tight security arrangements for smooth celebrations which began on Friday.
I'm Amritan Rai and you're watching Constitutionally Yours.
Political will is also missing.
अगर आप देखेंगे तो लिटरेसी रेट बहुत बढ़ी है।
यहाँ पे हम लोग consolation prize नहीं दे रहे।
Child labor is heavily required. So how to tackle that problem?
If there is violation of any provision, any law, judiciary will take actions.
Join us as we try to understand contemporary issues related to the Constitution. Watch Constitutionally Yours on Rajya Sabha Television.
Welcome back to more national news. And Delhi police on Sunday detained the mother and sister of JNU student Najib Ahmed, who has been missing for the past 23 days. Ahmed's mother, Fatima Nafees, was virtually dragged into a bus by the police along with other students during a protest march to India Gate. Both Fatima and her daughter had joined the protest, demanding intensified efforts from the police in tracing Najib. They were released later. Earlier in the day, though, Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal had met President Pranab Mukherjee, who assured him of seeking a report from the Ministry of Home Affairs and the JNU administration on the issue. On Saturday, Lieutenant Governor Najib Jung had asked the Delhi police to step up efforts to trace missing Ahmed. The 27-year-old student of School of Biotechnology went missing on the 15th of October following an on-campus scuffle allegedly with members of ABVP the night before.
वहाँ पुलिस ने जो सलूक किया हमारे साथ, हमारे बच्चों के साथ, जेएनयू के बच्चे थे, हमारे अपने बच्चे थे, वो बहुत बुरा किया। बुरी तरह उनको ऐसे घसीट रहे थे लड़कों को पुलिस वाले जैसे कि वो कोई मुजरिम हैं। मुजरिमों को तो खुला छोड़ दिया है, उनके पास आने की हिम्मत तो है नहीं उनके अंदर कि आके उनसे पूछे भी तुमने ऐसा क्यों किया था। एक लड़के को इतने सारे लोगों ने 4 बार हमला किया और उसको गायब कर दिया। ये पूछने की ताकत किसी के अंदर नहीं है।
नजीब की माँ फातिमा नफीस
महोदया, उनको जहां पहले ले जाया गया था, वहां से फिर दिल्ली पुलिस की महिला पुलिस अधिकारी के साथ उन्हें उनके घर दिल्ली पुलिस ने उनके घर पहुंचाया, घर छोड़कर आए।
जाहिर है कि दिल्ली पुलिस दबाव के कारण, राजनीतिक दबाव के कारण कोई एक्शन इस पे नहीं ले रही है। जो लोग उसमें मारपीट में शामिल थे, अभी 22 दिन के बाद कल शायद उनसे पहली बार पूछताछ की गई और वो भी एक औपचारिक पूछताछ है। तो राष्ट्रपति जी को हमने उसी के बारे में कहा। उन्होंने आश्वासन दिया है कि वो जेएनयू एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन से भी और दिल्ली पुलिस से भी इसके बारे में रिपोर्ट लेंगे और वो जो कुछ भी कर सकते हैं इसमें करेंगे।
कि हम सबका कर्तव्य बनता है कि ऐसे मौके पर जबकि नजीब गायब है और सरकार कोई कदम नहीं उठा रही है उन्हें ढूंढने के लिए और एक माँ के आंसू को पहुंचने के लिए, तो तब हम सबका फर्ज बनता है कि हम आपके बीच में आए और आपको बताएं कि हम भी आपके साथ हैं।
Now, with the opposition and the media targeting the centre over actions taken against NDTV India, Information Broadcasting Minister Venkaiah Naidu has said the NDA government is committed to freedom of press, but media should use it, keeping in mind the interests of the nation and the people. The INB minister also said that the well-being of the country and society should be kept in mind before broadcasting or publishing any news, and stressed that news and views should not be mixed. Speaking at an orientation program for Urdu journalists, Naidu said that credibility is very important in journalism and also stated that news must go with confirmation. Stating that there are some regulations, he said that the media should not preach something which is anti-national, not propagate against the interests of the country aspects like obscenity, vulgarity, encouraging violence. He asked the electronic media and cinema should seriously think about how to avoid vulgarity, obscenity and violence.
So journalists also, they must upgrade their skills and try to become an ideal journalist. Information along with confirmation is the best ammunition. If you spread the information, people will be empowered. They will go to character.
And now is a look at what else is making news in Nationwide. According to reports, India improved its ranking by 1 spot in a global index of business optimism, with policy reforms and goods and services tax expected to become a reality. The latest Grant Thornton International Business Report mentioned that India was ranked 2nd on the Optimism Index during the 3rd quarter, that is July to September 2016. Indonesia took the top spot, with the Philippines coming in 3rd. Home Minister Rajnath Singh has stressed on the importance of cow protection by bringing up the relevance of cows during the Mughal rule. He said that there was a need to take states into confidence on banning cow slaughter, though many states have already banned cow slaughter after increased awareness over the issue. The Met Department on Sunday issued a cyclone threat in Tripura as neighbouring Bangladesh is likely to be hit in the next 2 days. Normal life has already been disrupted since the last 3 days as the city is facing heavy rainfall and continuous drizzling. The Met has also issued a warning of heavy rainfall in isolated places over Manipur and Mizoram. Congress's poll strategist Prashant Kishore on Sunday met Samajwadi Party Supremo Mulayam Singh again, triggering speculation over Mahagathbandhan ahead of the upcoming Uttar Pradesh Assembly elections. The meeting came a day after top leaders of socialist-leaning parties attended SP's Silver Jubilee meet, a move seen as an attempt by Mulayam Singh to forge an alliance ahead of the Assembly polls hardly a few months away. Another quick break. International news next.
Tales that inspire. Stories of social change. A salute to diversity. Promoting public discourse. Events that motivate, inspiring the innovative spirit. Watch Rajya Sabha television documentaries.
From cowries to metal pieces, Indian currency has seen many changes. The earliest punch-marked coins came from Gandhar. The East India Company at the turn of the 19th century also minted its own coins. The Indo-Greek coins come from a colony left behind by Alexander. They depict the golden rule of the Guptas, with embossed human portraits and matrimonial alliances like Chandragupta Maurya's wedding with Seleucus I Nicetas' daughter.
Welcome back. Now there's relief for Hillary Clinton supporters and campaign managers after FBI Director James Comey said that the agency was not changing its view that Clinton had been careless. However, it was not criminal in using her private email server. This came after the FBI reviewed the newly discovered new emails. However, it is to be seen if the October surprise that fizzled was much ado about nothing, or did it manage to have a lasting effect on the election.
We have seen Director Comey's latest letter to the Hill. We're glad to see that that he has found, as we were confident that he would, that he has confirmed the conclusions that he really reached in July, and we're glad that this matter is resolved.
Big relief in the Democrats' camp just 2 days ahead of the presidential poll, with the FBI again clearing Hillary Clinton on newly found emails. Director James Comey on Sunday sent a letter to lawmakers that says that after a fast-paced review of the latest emails, the agency has not changed its opinion that Hillary Clinton should not face criminal charges. The FBI had found the new emails as part of its separate investigation into a sexting incident by Anthony Weiner, the estranged husband of top Clinton aide Huma Abedin. The revelation has given a boost to Hillary's campaign.
The bottom line is, his vision of America is so dark and divisive. It's not the America that I see as I travel around our country. I want us to have a vision that is hopeful, optimistic, and unified about what we can do together to make sure America's best years are ahead of us.
Comey had dropped a bombshell last month when he revealed that FBI had discovered emails in a separate investigation that could be connected to the probe of Hillary Clinton's emails. The move had infuriated Democrats and emboldened Republican nominee Donald Trump. With the latest letter, the Trump campaign slammed Comey. Though Trump himself did not directly address the FBI's latest announcement at a rally in Minneapolis, he continued to argue that Clinton will be under investigation for a long time.
If she were to win, it would create an unprecedented constitutional crisis. In that situation, we could very well have a sitting president under felony indictment and ultimately a criminal trial.
It is unclear what impact will Comey's actions, first raising a vaguely worded red flag 11 days ago and then lowering it 2 days from the election, will have on the presidential contest. While the news could help Clinton put to rest a controversy that has dogged her in the 2016 race's closing days, it could also provide new fuel for Trump's claims of a rigged system. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Even as the US-backed Iraqi forces continue their campaign to push IS militants out of their Iraqi stronghold of Mosul, in Syria too, such an operation has begun to drive out jihadists. A US-backed Kurdish and Arab force say that it has begun an operation to recapture Raqqa, also called the Islamic State's capital in Syria. The Syrian Democratic Forces will be aided by US-led coalition airstrikes. The offensive was announced at a press conference in Ain Issa, about 50 kilometers away from Raqqa. They have warned civilians to steer clear of areas where IS militants are present. The US says that Raqqa campaign will proceed in deliberate phases. Raqqa was named as the de facto capital of the caliphate, proclaimed by the IS in 2014.
العسكرية الكبيرة من أجل تحرير مدينة الرقة وريفها من براثم قوات الإرهاب العالمي الظلامي المتمثل بداعش التي اتخذها عاصمة لدولته المزعومة.
It is our principle
priority throughout this campaign that the vanguard of the force that takes major territory from Daesh should be locally based forces. And so we have trained many of these fighters, and that force will continue to grow as we get to the subsequent phases of the campaign. We, of course, work very closely with the Syrian Democratic Forces. When they are fighting Daesh, we do provide air support. It has to be coordinated.
And finally, let's take you through all the sporting action from across the world in Sports Beat. India continued their superb run in the Commonwealth Wrestling Championships by winning 8 gold medals and 8 silver on Sunday. India won 5 gold medals in freestyle and 3 gold medals in the Greco-Roman category. Britain's Andy Murray celebrated his rise to world #1 by winning his first Paris Masters title. Murray defeated American John Isner in the final 6-3, 6-7, 6-4 for his 6th ATP title of the season. Murray became world #1 on Saturday after getting a bye in the semi-final. He will officially replace Serbian Novak Djokovic as the top-ranked player on Monday.
6-3, 6-7, 6-4.
Liverpool went to top of the Premier League with an emphatic 6-1 victory over Watford. Sadio Mane scored twice, while Coutinho, Emre Can, Firmino and Wijnaldum scored a goal each as Liverpool overtook Chelsea with 26 points from 11 games. It is the 5th time Liverpool have scored 4 goals or more in the league this season. Filipino boxer Manny Pacquiao returned to the ring with a unanimous decision over champion Jesse Vargas to claim the WBO welterweight title in Las Vegas. The judges scored the bout 114, 113, 118, 109 and 118, 109 in favor of the veteran Filipino. The former 8-division world champion Pacquiao had announced his retirement after beating Timothy Bradley in April. That's all we have for you on the Breakfast News. Have a great day.